Hello guys. So yeah, the new season is here. I'm playing Grandmaster for the first time uh, and the first game is finished after 2 weeks of a game. And it was a 3-player game versus Funestus and Martin Peugeot. I'm just gonna refer to him as Martin from this on. So yeah, the league is pretty high level. There's also Weidenbaum, BV4, VHS Win, and MICOJONU. So yeah, let's see how the season goes, and let's look at the game. Yeah, for Leaders and Wonders, there's a mixed bag. Once more, I suppose Nostradamus is always interesting in H1, and there's Nobel, Newton, some science leaders. Also Watt with the railroad. And from H3 there's Marlene and all the science guys. But also no space flight, but some other decent wonders. So yeah, for me in first position there's a lot of leaders coming down, so I'm guaranteed one of those at least, so I'll just take the EG. Funestus then goes for Hippocrates with the urban growth. Yes, standard stuff. There's Martin, goes for Roman roads for 3. Yeah, of course you could argue for taking a wonder with a rich land maybe, but maybe he likes the Roman roads, and maybe he's eyeing also leaves the Clio for 2, so he's guaranteed to get it basically. And then that's a nice wonder for Clio. So Ashoka being the only one for one civil action, so I just grab him, and also with the EG card that I have, I can maybe get his bonus going quite soon. And then there's 2 wonders. I looked at the cards. There's also Columbus in the game, so it always means that Colossus is of extra value. And Acro, there was, yeah, not that much synergy for that, so I just went for the Colossus here, and I suppose that's always fine to have in seat 1 just to have the strength and maybe pressure the other guys. And then just build mine. I need not see it next turn, so I can just leave myself with no free pop. There's at least raiders drawn, which can be seeded with classes maybe. Funestus then Hippocrates takes Acro for 1. I mean, yeah, library is for 2, and it's 1 more civil action to finish, but maybe argument could be made that library is fine also here. Martin then goes for Clio as expected. Start with the lab and then start with the wonder after that. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Yeah, for me, just getting the Ashoka bonus going is 1 priority, and then there's only Only real option for that is to take the drama, but there's Marlene in the game, so it could be a nice card later on. So I expect myself to play around that, build a lab, and take drama for the 1 extra rock. And there's also Nostradamus and Columbus coming down, and while they will both be for 2 for Funestus, so it might be even possible that I can take my pick out of those for 1. Also draw some more events, maybe, if Nostradamus is the way to go. Trade pact offered and rejected. I just saw no real use for that, and I think there was some immediate bonus for Funestus if had that gone through, and it's always a bit better to use foods for rock, and it was the other way around for me, so I saw no reason to accept it. Yeah, breakthrough for 1, always nice. Also rich land. Yeah, he hasn't built the mine yet, but he does now. Maybe with Hippocrates you might at least give a little thought of taking other maybe Nostradamus in this case, just to have a replacement earlier. But I'm not complaining now, so I can just take the other leader if Martin should take the other one. I would maybe even prefer Columbus. I could just use Ashoka for a while and then just replace him just before the age ends, or maybe even after. But yeah, maybe Martin also sees that. Yeah, it's very nice with Ashoka. Just take Columbus and get the bonus rocks and food very easy, and then replace later. So civil life. Martin indeed goes for Columbus, which I get. I get the reasoning behind that. It's unlikely that he's already drawn a nice colony. For me, it would be very, very potential. Also, breakthrough. And I seeded Raiders at this point. I'm gonna finish the Wonder quite soon, and also with Nostradamus being available for me, so I can just go for him and probably avoid the Raiders. But I'm in no hurry to just elect him yet. I can take one more Ashoka round and then start seeding. I have Barbarians, which is maybe not ideal, but with the Colossus I should be able to avoid it. Also, I want to have the 3rd MA. With Nostradamus it's just way too powerful to have that. And then I can use DG already and still get the full bonus. And popping to get out of corruption, and I think this is a very fine time. I draw a tactic, at least that should be nice. And also I left Genghis Khan for 2, so it might be even longer than Funestus can get a nice replacement leader. Swordsman and some more cards. Yeah, if it gets iron, it's going to be very efficient upgrades. It starts to go for some swordsman, at least develops. Martin, then reveals some rocks from the deck and just finishes. And what, yeah, he can just pop and still be out of consumption. So that's the Roman roads bonus for the start of the game. And he looks pretty good here. Also building a warrior. That's deck will flip quite soon, so it could be beneficial to have some extra strength. Yeah, for me, I think with Nostradamus you want to elect earlier to get some more knowledge of the upcoming deck and also just start seeding for culture. Ashoka did some work. I think he gave me like 2 rocks and 1 food. Not the best, but not the worst. So with that, I want to finish the Colossus. Then there's some warriors built and also iron. That's pretty easy pick for one. Just start to go for the iron next turn and maybe fill a legion to avoid all those strength events. I didn't see anything this turn because I want to make sure that I have something to seed with Ashoka. And also I would just got out of corruption like this, so maybe if there's some more rocks, well, then I could build another warrior, I suppose, but yeah. I draw a tactic I probably won't be using. Funestus, then alchemy, 1 alchemy upgrade, and EG. Yeah, he still has to finish the wonder, so EG 1 for 1 civil action is a nice bargain. It also, well, delays his science a bit. The second alchemy taken, and that's of course the favorite card of any Cleopatra play, just to get the alchemy and go for those after finishing the wonder. But interestingly enough, he doesn't take the iron. Maybe he didn't find the civil action to do that, and well, he wanted to get both labs upgraded, and yeah, but this will mean that the second iron will be gone, so coals will be well, not contested. There's still 2 coals, but if they're late, it's may get a bit weird. Then I see barbarians. I'm quite sure, since it's in the next deck already, that I will be able to avoid it. So here's my population. I think, yeah, I have to get 2 irons going, and then I only have 1 CA left. And I think I will go for the masonry. It will, for one, get rid of Himeji Castle for Martin. Should he maybe wish to go for that? And also there's Railroad and I think Silk Road as well. Yeah, that's some possible synergy. Also Suez Canal maybe for some place, but yeah, it is a good card, and I probably have the science to support it. I draw Crusades at least to seed next turn also. Then the trade pact is reoffered, and I choose to take it now. I think it could give me another population. So lab upgrades and some more strength, irrigation, pop. So yeah, you can just wait till next time to finish the Acropolis. Then doesn't seed obviously is the weakest. There's code for 2. He has a lot of science, so naturally that will be developed. Also goes for Columbus. The age might already end, and he might have a nice colony already. Not that he has had many draws, but probably some colony at least might be in. So yeah, seed Crusades and probably Barbarians, but that they don't do anything. Well, it's not by a clear margin, but still. So yeah, having taken the masonry, I just want to get Silk Road. I have the rocks for it. Upgrade the last mine, and just develop masonry already. Could maybe build a stage also, but it doesn't really matter that much, I think. And then extra warrior. There's still raiders in at least, so I have to make sure that I don't get hit by it, even though yeah, wouldn't hurt me too much, but still. Nice to see it, and yes, indeed, the raiders came out, and Martin has some production, but neither of them have too much stuff to discard, so that's very nice. Nice at this stage, just delaying the production. Well, at least Funestus then can still finish the wonder, even though he got hit by that. And at last, Saladin as a replacement leader, and well, he's gonna be having 6 CA. So yeah, it's pretty late, and Hippocrates did nothing for Purple Chance, but we'll see. Just get the wonder ready and start going for some food. So those rich lands doing some work now. Now that he got hit by the raiders, can still go for some economy. And Martin seeds and rats, which I did not know of, came out, and means 1 less pop for me at least. And yeah, but at least they're gone now. Martin can then go for food after rats and some extra strength. Well, he needed that to be able to defend for sure. So yeah, H1 will end, and yeah, I get the Colossus draw. And I have drawn territory, economic progress, and negotiations. And yeah, with all this, I have 3 colonization cards, and there's cartography on the rows, so I decided to push the vast territory in, and hopefully I can well, get the cartography going at first and then hope for navigation to be a bit late. But I think, yeah, Rebellion is unseatable. But it's nice to know it's not in the deck. And all those strength events, I mean, yeah, they could be pushed, but I think I just wanna see the colony and maybe win it and fix my yellow bank with that. There's some more science, most for Martin. So yeah, I just want to finish the Silk Road, be ready for maybe another wonder at some point, and then just take the cartography. So yeah. I draw Inhabited 2 to maybe follow up the colony play. Funestus then can go for Republic right away, which will be pretty strong. Obviously, MA count is still a bit problematic, but of course the CA is gonna be 9, so that will help him do a lot. Also taking bread to potentially solve the happy issues that he has. There's also beer in the game. And yeah, warfare could help with the MA. Then again, I already have warfare, so might be worth it to wait for strategy and a farm upgrade. Yeah, there's Martin, Pops, and goes for Cook, which, yeah, he's the only leader available for him now, and maybe sees that I go into colonies, so yeah, I had that in mind while seeding the vast colony, but then again he doesn't have a lot of cards now, and I at least get the +3 bonus for colonization. But yeah, let's see if the colonies are heavily contested. Yeah, he can just wait for a conminer, then he's fine with his action count. Good harvest, so all the other players have prepared for that better than I have, and it probably will cause me some corruption problems, but let's see if I can tackle them. There's at least scientific method for one, which is very nice with being on 4CA. And I can upgrade to get out of corruption and take an open growth. There's still time before the colonies start coming out. At least the ones that I seeded, and I obviously have seen the other players' cards, what they seeded. Yeah, draw a nice tactic. Maybe send the whole army for the colony and then rebuild as cannons. Should I get a copy of cannon? And terrorism probably unseedable. Well, I went for scientific method and I will have the most culture for a while. Funestus using his CAs pretty nicely, taking a good card. good science card from the row, and also takes the strategy. Yeah, I agree with that. And some nice cards. And also fixes his habits. I obviously know about rebellion, so I don't need to worry about that. And maybe Nostradamus being on 2 unhappy faces is a clear indication that I either know firsthand about it or have not seen it seeded. But then goes for Conmon. Takes rifles, yeah. Pretty obvious pick. Even starts going for those to get out of corruption. Take some more food. And another tech. Maybe has a tactic, maybe just grabs it for 1 and prefers it over the cannon for 2. Yeah, for me I was looking at Funestus civilization, and it would have been pretty nice to get Isaac Newton. Of course he doesn't really need the CA that he's giving, but he has a lot of technologies, a lot of science in hand, so it would be pretty nice for him. And for me, I don't have any CA, any spare CA at least for the moment, and I have some techs also in hand, and in general just helping me with the CA until I can maybe find a Republic or Conmon. So yeah, I spent a while on this turn, but it was at the end obvious that I need to go for Newton. I have no guaranteed seat for Nostradamus next turn. I don't want to seat terrorism, so why not just pick up Newton now and save a CA already. I also decided to use the urban growth, even though it meant corruption, but I realized I have some hand space issues anyway, or could have. So I wanted to still save the rocks, even though it meant corruption, and also use the card. And obviously there's cannon, which I have to take. Sucks to leave the breakthrough, but then again I have 9 production, so should be fine. Yeah, and I got hit by my own crusades, but yeah, it already gave me 4 cultured seeds, so it's not as bad. Funestus then goes for strategy, carryman, cards, and more cards. Yeah, he's a lot of science, a lot of rocks in hand, and he's ready for coal. He probably has more problems deciding what to do with all those CA. But yeah, he drops 4 coal quite nicely and can maybe pick a leader later on. And yeah, there was Pestilence revealed, losing everyone 1 pop. And sadly there's Navigation revealed from the deck before the colonies from H2 that I seeded, but yeah, Martin with navigation and cook should be able to compete pretty heavily for those colonies. So it's not ideal, but then again, both only give the yellow cubes, and Matan can really use the rocks most, so they're not the worst colonies for me. But then again, there's also Suez, so yeah, it wasn't too great now that the deck didn't move quickly enough, and also the navigation was, well, yeah, there's only 17 cards left, so yeah, it had to come out anyway. But yeah, I still decided to seed both those colonies, the vast and the inhabited, just to maybe get one of those, even though Matan has cook and now navigation. And yeah, I think I missed earlier, Funestus did offer me the science pact, which I gladly took. But I suppose with me going for Newton and have 9 production, we'll see how long Funestus will allow that to continue. But yeah, Matan goes for navigation. Take some efficient upgrade, maybe. Going for the coal at some point. Also just popping. He doesn't have any problems with population. With some more strength, and takes patriotism. So yeah, he's still lacking rocks, but otherwise it's looking okay. So for me, I seeded, let's see, I think it was international agreement. Yes. I just thought that there's maybe a possibility I can go for some fortifications in time to win it. And there was another territory revealed, and I think I slightly overbid for this. It means that I can I may not be able to win any of the yellow cube territories with this bid, but at least it helps me somewhat with my happiness, and yeah, it's maybe a tall order to fight for the colonies, for the better colonies with Cook. So I decided to send even 2 small units with the cards. So I think this was my highest bid. I just threw in the other warrior just to maybe make it a bit more expensive for Martin. But yeah, I was not too happy to win it with this price. But yeah. So yeah, finally I can get some more civil actions. There's Republic for 1 even. Just go for it. And then it's possible with Funestus having a lot of civil actions that the age might end. And I wanted to set up the drama for just one science, just to have the option to maybe go for Malin. And it's, yeah, of course, doesn't cost me a CA, and also spends science from Funestus. So yeah, practically a very safe way to play it. And then I realized I'm just sent 2 units to that colony, and also I have the masonry going, so railroad looked pretty tempting. So I also have the rocks to finish it already. Yeah, in some other scenarios, I might have maybe kept one of those H2 colonies for the Suez Canal, but it was just like this cheaper to just go for railroad, get some more strength without using any military actions. So I decided to just go for the railroad. And yeah, that's my turn. Still the weakest, and that's, well, the 2 colonies are on top, so the deck is safe for now. And yeah, Funestus was really having the short end of this scientific stick, so he decided to cancel the pact, which I think is correct. Then again, it cost him now 2 political actions to first offer it and then cancel it. But yeah, I suppose you must cancel it. So he plays Rev idea and can now go for the coal and even 2 upgrades, and decides to secure himself a cannon and also architecture. There is red grass in the game, and of course other possible use cases for architecture, so yeah, understandable pick. Keeps Suez for 2 CA range for Martin, but let's see if he still goes for it. Probably will, since his rocks are pretty bad and he'd have to set up a pretty late call. So yeah, now there's the first one of those colonies came out. Yeah, I couldn't really bid for that anymore. Not any meaningful bid anyway, so I decided to skip it. And at least Funestus gave a run for the money for Martin, so it wasn't like for 1 warrior or anything. Well, it was, but some cards also. So yeah, he still goes for Suez, but in order to set it up, he probably needs to take some resources from the row, and he indeed goes for at least EG, and also reserves. Now he can finish it next turn. But yeah, his rocks still don't look too good. He has to finish the Suez, and well, depending on what colony he has, he might even prefer something like Wealthy 2. But let's see what he has. And yeah, then he pops. He has a healthy yellow bank, but yeah, as said, rock issues, at least for now. And corruption, even that is pretty ugly on 3 bronze. So yeah, let's see what I drew with the classes. Yeah, plunder and defense card and a good tactic. I mean, yeah, since I have the cannon, I probably am quite sure to get a copy of modern infantry, so that might be a useful tactic. But then again, also fortifications could be enough. But yeah, that's a good alternative in some lines. So yeah, I decided to practically give up on the colony and just go for the selective breeding, since it was available. Of course, there could have been some cases where it would have been denied from me, but St. Martin had to really go heavy on the Suez and take all the reserves from the row and all the rocks from the row. So it worked out so that I can get the SB, which I gladly took, and just go for the food production way to get more population. And then I have 4 CA left. Yeah, there are some good cards, at least Justice Center, pun intended. And also, well, I have still a lot of science production, but Breakthrough with the Silk Road bonus for 1, it's just too good. So I just took all those cards and even floated the civil action. Yeah, I was missing one science anyway to go for cannon, and I couldn't pop, so just floated it. So yeah, now the other yellow cube island came out, and Martin was able to take it, but then again he had maybe only riflemen left, so a big unit and a card, so he's at the same time getting weaker, so sending units to the colonies. So, and yeah, he's very imbalanced. He has all the population in the world, but no rocks to really employ many of those. So in hindsight, that was maybe not the worst thing to have happened, that he just gets those colonies and then is weaker and maybe a bit imbalanced after that. But then again, I initially thought that I might be able to compete for at least one of those colonies. So Funestus goes for Nobel. His Saladin already died, but he can get a Nobel going. That's maybe, yeah, is what wouldn't do too much at this time. Darwin could work also. He has pretty good setup for Darwin. So yeah, I was maybe a bit surprised that maybe Darwin could have been the way also. Goes for architecture, population, and another lab. And yeah, that's a copy of Air Force, so it's always safe to take it. But yeah, he's in a bit of a culture slump. He isn't producing anything in that department, but maybe can fix it with some Nobel Prizes later on. So yeah, since the age just started, we could just take a look at the overview, which shows that I have a slight culture lead, having had Nostradamus, but well, of course Martin now has a lot of colonies going with Cook, so he's producing a lot of culture. Well, but still more than the two of us. And civil actions, well, I have practically not limitless civil actions, but I'm right up there with the other guys. And having the warfare here really is pretty key. And production-wise, I have very good production, and can maybe switch to some culture production as well. But maybe there's no real hurry for that, since I already have the slight culture lead and the production lead. So Martin, another colony, why not? Another rifleman sent, so that's a really pricey develop one. Of course, it's one more rock production for the remainder, and blue cube. Those are quite quite the important blue cubes for Matan. So now it just finishes the Suez, playing all those rock cards. And what does he have? He had strategic 2, so that's probably one of the better ones. Always nice to get the draws, but then again, maybe Wealthy 2 might have been his pick for this particular game. But yeah, it never hurts to draw more cards. And also taking another reserves, but I think he's gonna have some blue cube issues with production. First of all, he lost 2 food. Well, that doesn't do anything. And he produced only 5 of the 8. So practical corruption. So it's not perfect for him, even though that Suez helps him, but still some issues. And yeah, I think I was not too annoyed that I couldn't go for the justice system last time, since there was always the possibility of civil service coming down, which is obviously the better choice. So I just grab it, go for it. And yeah, Matan having a lot of food, and Funestus also has some food, and I have the reserves that I can play for 4 food if I need. And just the general idea that one of the ways for Martin to score a lot of culture is maybe the Red Cross, even though, yeah, it might be a bit hard for him to build. If it was for 1, he could take it for 3 and then build 4 stages, so it's still not too bad. But it wouldn't be really easy for him to build it, but I decided that that's one of the main ways for him to score heavily, so since I'm also somewhat prepared for it, and I have masonry, so it's just wanted to deny it anyway. And also there's United Nations, so it's one more wonder for that, if that's available. Maybe that also taking the Red Cross now, there's Manhattan Project right next to it, though it may not be available for me, but it's certainly a possibility to just finish the Red Cross and take projects if it's there. So yeah, I took the Red Cross and decided to build a theater, and there's modern infantry, so that's a nice pick for me, having that positional army. So at this stage I was pretty happy with how the game's going. Somewhat keeping the other guys out of the culture and still producing quite heavily. Yeah, so there's the international agreement. Goes for the last mine upgrade. Builds another Brand Circus. I think there's pure in the game, so those might be quite nice. And also having the Acropolis, so that might be a nice culture source for him. Population. Yeah, indeed takes the Manhattan. Maybe he has no nice tactic for now, so that gives him a bit of security. And yeah, also there's the science guys available, and Einstein arguably being the better one out of those. There's prosperity rebuilt. So some more food for some players. So yeah, Martin builds one stage of my Red Cross. And there's military theory for one, so naturally that will be taken. And then he pops a gazillion times. Also takes engineering. Yeah, it could help him in some scenarios. So he just prioritizes getting out of rock corruption. Oh, yeah, rock corruption just takes the food corruption. Doesn't hurt him at all. So yeah, here I think I seeded impact of progress and got hit by refugees. So yeah, I was not maybe eyeing to get any stronger this turn, so I just decided to start seeding. There was democracy for one, so I decided to invest in that. Since there's also the rev idea, otherwise it might have been a bit too costly, but with the rev idea for 7 science makes it possible for me to invest in the democracy. And then I just built the Red Cross. It ended up giving me 24 culture and just 6 for the two of them. So pretty nice. And yeah, there's some leaders now. There's Steve Jobs, but yeah, then I realized I don't have that many population available after having the Red Cross built and being on two small farms for the up until age 3. So I only actually have 8 people working in my civilization. So yeah, with my lean I can field tactics with less people. So yeah, that was pretty natural for me to take my lean. Also, yeah, it could in some cases help Matan go for more strength than I can. And yeah, with having the dramas, I think it was a pretty clear pick. And yeah, provide and also patriotism, just to take all the science and rocks from the row, just taking it away from the other guys and being prepared to maybe build a unit at some point. And yeah, at this point I was not able to defend an aggression from Matan at least, but I still decided to just play it like this. And of course I draw 2 defense cards, so that's yeah, a good draw. And I got some corruption also, but yeah, 20 rocks and having reserves and patriotism. I'm not really concerned about my rocks. So yeah, Funestus then switches to subculture, going for Einstein, journalism, canon, takes to patriotism, and maybe could go for some extra food production, even though it's getting late, but maybe for some impacts. And yeah, he has the Napoleonic army, so maybe just shows that he can maybe defend if Matan should get aggressive. So yeah, I get hit by crime wave, but it's not too bad. Matan pops 4 times goes for cavalrymen. So yeah, he has the population for the military, but of course the rocks are harder to come by. But he also has patriotism and reserves, so he still has some military potential. So it may be in part decided who gets the last Air Force. Is it me or Matan? Yeah, in a way he probably needs to go for some military to keep up with the culture. And yeah, he had the strategic 2 draws, so maybe it's drawn something like modern army. And yeah, this time he gets out of corruption. Also takes tanks, so maybe what does it really do? Yeah, I don't get the tanks, so yeah, it could be something to do with that. But yeah, I have the positional army, so I could then maybe set it up and just be fine. I see the technology, impact of technology, which is obviously good for me. And Martin gets hit by, I think this was his own event, but yeah, he has only one unhappy worker, and then like 10 happy ones. Yeah, only eight free people and one unhappy. So yeah, for me, I calculated that I probably play the Rev ID for the bonus to have 16 science, go for some 1 Nobel Prize and those military techs, and then switch to Malian. So yeah, cannon and modern infantry developed, then switch, pop, build 1 extra drama, play reserves this turn, just to be flexible, pop some more, build modern infantry. Now I can for sure defend, and also another cannon, also a cannon. And yeah, that was the second Air Force copy, so naturally I had to take it away. And then I realized I wanna keep the impact of strength in hand if there's no real military escalation, and there's also United Nations, so that could be evaluated with that. Maybe in some scenarios, I could just build 1 more cannon, and then I could be strongest in some scenarios. And of course, it could also put brakes on Martin if he sees that I can easily get one positional army with the Air Force, and if he can't really top that, it might put some brakes on him. So yeah, I scored a Nobel Prize, and Funestus then goes for MICOJONU and cavalrymen for the Nobel Prize, and of course 6 culture from the text, and then 4 for the Nobel Prize. So it's nice 10 culture per turn. Yeah, get some more food. Maybe has the impact of agriculture. Place the wave. Takes demo for next turn. Yeah, he has 7 7 urban buildings, so that's pretty cheap demo. Even disbands a sword to put into cavalryman, just prepping for potential strength hike from Martin or me. So yeah, this was one of Martin's impacts. He probably had to take some risk and put that in, since he had cook, and at the time there was Funestus with practically no culture production, and I had Newton, so maybe it's getting late in the game, so this was probably the last turn for me to switch into Marlene. But yeah, I was able to overtake Martin in the culture production and score most from this impact. It's the urban growth. Pierre, there's both pro spots still available. Get some more reserves. It's a government, so that is starting to look like shock troops. Builds another cavalryman, and just the warrior just to get out of corruption. So yeah, that really looks like shock troops, and that would mean that he can reach, I think, 62, just building two of those cavalrymen and then showing the tactic. So yeah, it meant that some preparations have to be made during my next turn. So for me, I start by seeding Harmony, actually. Yeah, strength is too risky to seed anyway. I realized that I probably am going to put 2 more people into military, so it should be a relatively neutral event. And yeah, there's agriculture revealed. It scores most for Funestus and least for Martin. So I decide to pop. Build cannon, filter tactic. And yeah, then there was a lot of speculation from my part at what is the real, or what was the most beneficial way for me to play it. There's obviously the reserves for 3, and I did play around some scenarios where I maybe didn't take United Nations, but then again, there's really only the reserves that has any interest for me. And then if I don't take the United Nations, I probably won't take the EG either. And yeah, it took a while to come up with a plan here. There was also some consideration who is the more likely war target for Martin. And I figured I have a pretty big lead for now, so Martin might not be too tempted to war me for a small amount. And also taking the United Nations also shields me from, it means that I can score a lot of culture while just building one air force on top of it. So I could possibly, I think, reach 59 strength if I just build 3 air forces. So yeah, maybe one thing I could have prepared is to threaten entrenchment tactics with their forces. That could give me more strength, but like this, the way I played it, let's see how I play it. I go for the United Nations with the EG. And yeah, taking Prof Sports away. Yeah, let's look at Martin for now. It isn't really. There's the second copy of Prof Sports still in the deck. And even if it was on 3 CA, Martin can still, with 7 CA, he can elect Pierre, even with the penalty of civil action. And then he could take Prof Sports for 3, develop it, build 1, and still play reserves and go for those units. He's guaranteed to get it even if the Prof Sport is on 3 CA. So it doesn't really affect that I denied the first copy of Prof Sports, but then again, if it was available for 1, then he could maybe do something else also. So I decided to just take it away. And also taking EG away from Funestus is effectively lowering his defense. So yeah, there was some debate in my head about this turn, but then I decided to go for this. And yeah, I have for next turn 21 rocks to use for military if I need. But really, probably the best defense, if I should get the war, might be just to finish the wonder and build one air force. Funestus then just seeds. Now one of my impacts comes out right before Martin has the possibility to go for engineering. Well, he won't go for it now anyway. Funestus then goes for late computer. Of course, it will score him more with the project. Goes for demo. Takes endowment. So let's see if there's war. And yeah, there's a war against Funestus. And yeah, he actually wasn't able to set up enough defense this turn. So Martin was able to, as said, take the Prof Sports, just go for beer, develop, build, play reserves, and then go for two of those cavalrymen and show the tactic, and 62. So that was a turn set in stone. And yeah, now we can take a look at the potentially, that was a real consideration if I should even offer this pact. It obviously only gives me 1 culture, and by the time Funestus will have his final production, it will give him 5. So yeah, I had no alternative other than skipping it political action. None of those impacts are any good. Actually, impact population was something like +4 for me and +22 for Martin and +18 for Funestus, so that was obviously a really bad one. But yeah, I thought it was a bit of a reach, but in some scenarios Martin has played some very nice events for him. He will get some culture from the war, and with Pierre So there were some scenarios where he would have been inside maybe 10 to 15 culture for me before the final impacts. So it felt bad also to not offer it for just one culture. And I thought that it may not come into play when deciding who's potentially the one to finish second. So yeah, maybe it still advanced my civilization by one culture, which could have maybe in some very outlier scenario made a difference, but maybe it's just better to not meddle too much for the overall result. So yeah, for me, just get the Air Force. I still wanted to build the Air Force just to be able to defend. And then I also, I have played Harmony, so this mine removal doesn't do anything for that. And there's it also doesn't do anything for balance, only industry. Decided just to put one more worker into drama, just finish the United Nations and evaluate no impact with that. And yeah, for the last actions, doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, there's in fact impact of balance. So Funestus was getting the food upgrades for this, also for the agriculture, but also for this balance. So now he must cough up a defense. And yeah, he could have maybe set up a nicer defense last time, but then again, with me taking the EG3 away, it also gave him 5 less rocks to plan his defense, and yeah, he could have maybe made sure that he can fill at least two Napoleonics, one with Air Force, one without. So he's gonna have to give up some culture to Martin. But yeah, he also scored a lot of points from the project, so probably roughly the same anyway. So 17 science transfer, and yeah, technology just before Martin can get the EG. The engineering going. But yeah, with going for that, he can just build two prof spots. Yeah. So yeah, off to the final scoring. It's gonna be pretty decisive victory for me. Very likely. I don't think there's any scenario where 50 culture is gained versus me. So it's gonna be a fight for the second. So yeah, there's Wonders. One I've probably, I don't know who played it, but for me obviously very strong. Architecture I had no knowledge about. Could be Martin's. Variety, which will be best for Funestus. Overtaking Martin now. There's Harmony, which will be tied for the other guys and the government. Let's see if it's enough. No, it's the same for both. So yeah, at the end, the tourism pact, in a way, decided or made Funestus maybe not a king, but a prince in this setup. So yeah, but of course there's a lot of other occasions where the culture is gained or lost. So, but yeah, it was the final sort of yeah. It, in a way, decided the second place, but maybe yeah. So yeah, I was able to win my first Grandmaster game, which I was pretty happy about. It was a pretty smooth game. I mean, obviously the strength push from Martin towards the end made it a bit more hairy, but I was able to make do with my pretty scarce population, just having railroad helping with the population, also Marlene towards the end have more efficiency in my civilization, and also nice wonders. Silk Road always a nice boost, and also Colossus giving me a nice tactic at least. And yeah, this was some colony play from me, but Martin really reaped those benefits from that. But then again, he was in a rock deficit for much of the game and had a lot of population, but not enough rocks to really put pressure. So yeah, this was the first game finished, and maybe in a couple of days there might be another one finished. So we'll see then.